And we're back with the second episode of the final whistle. Sianbonani Dumelang Molweni. And as we said, this is the final whistle where we blow the whistle in all the hot topics that are happening and that we talk about in our local football. And after a double dose of the Soweto Derby and the Tshwane Derby to put the cherry on top, joining me is my partner in crime, Vuyo Luyolo. I know we're talking FIFA week, but do you want to go back to the Derby chats?
Not at all. I mean, we don't want to mess things up for the show today. I know we're talking national teams, of which we don't have any strong points when it comes to them. So we're going to try as hard to make it a good show and to try and bring out the positives of what's ahead of the national teams coming this week.
Okay. A wise man once said to me that when you lose, rather, you talk less. When you win, you say nothing. I guess that's the case. I'm going to stick with that. We talk national teams. Our national teams are out doing the job. If we talk Bafana, going out for the World Cup 2018 qualifiers, we're playing Angola twice in a space of, 3-4 days?
4 days, yes.
And but I want us to take it a little lower, starting off with the younger ones. The under-17 national team, the boys, went out last month to play in the under-17 World Cup. We didn't do well that much, but
losing 2 games and drawing 1.
exactly, and a draw against Korea DPR was sort of maybe a positive from the guys. What did you make of the whole performance from the side?
I think the boys went out there and they tried their best. I mean, it was a second encounter, them going out there to try and fulfill the dream of trying to, encounter in this competition. It wasn't to go out for them at the stage. I think the level was too big for them. I think the stage was too big for the boys going out there, because the performances that came out there were very strong. Even looking at the African teams that performed there, I mentioned Mali recently, that Mali was performing like an international team. And just the way that the ball play, the physique, it was just on point. I think that is some of the things that we need to sit back, or that 17 management needs to come back and sit back and look at how we can develop. But the potential is there, yes.
Yeah, talking about potential, there were a lot of individual performances, the likes of Kanyisa, Mayo up front, a great prospect going forward in the future, especially in Bafana as well.
Definitely. I mean, the road had been set, especially for Mayo as well. We know the history of the family. I mean, him coming in as well, he wants to set the stage to say, you know what, somebody prior to me was in the stage and he managed to do so well. Now I'm coming in as a youngster and also want to try and keep the name that had been praised recently. I mean, with the likes of Kaizer Chiefs donning the jerseys, he wants to also keep that element of the family name running in the national teams as well.
Now, from one junior national team to another one, we congratulated the Banyana qualifying for Olympics 2016 last month. Now, the under-20s, they didn't make it against Nigeria for the World Cup as well in 2017.
I think the similar thing goes back to the management side of things. Are these guys, are we developing teams that are ready to really compete on an international level? Yes, when it comes to local teams or African teams that we face, we tend to be good. I mean, when it comes to qualifiers, you look at the goals and you think, okay, we are going to go out there. But then it's a different world when we're facing the European teams and the other teams in the rest of the world, and we just don't have the structure. We don't have
how many qualifiers should we play to get to the stage where we know we're going to qualify for sure? In terms of preparation, how much do we put into preparation going to this?
I don't think it's how many games that we need to play, but it's just the way that we need to prepare for certain games, not the number of games we need to play, but there needs to be a certain structure that in our mindset we're going to play international games, and we need to do research on how international teams play, and we seem to be forgetting that part. I look at with the national men's team as well, where you find that we go and play Angola, or we play a team, a young team, and then you hear the guys saying, okay, we came back from the competition, like the interview we did with Kuna. You come back from the competition and you think, Did you guys ever take the time to do research about the team? No, we looked for clips on YouTube and everything, and that's not.
Don't you have scouts though? People were sent out to go watch the teams play as part of the preparation.
Exactly, and that's not how you prepare for. And it's not how you approach the game. It's not how you approach a world stage competition. We need to get to a point where you just take it seriously now.
Now, there's always an issue when it comes to under 17s or any other national development teams when it comes to football. The issue of age. Mali and Nigeria went to the finals of the World Cup, and someone posed the question: are they of the right age?
How do you regulate that now is the question, because I mean it happens in the rest of the world. You never know the ages. There's these terms we call the football age. We've seen it in SA. We've seen it.
In the football age.
Football age is that age that, while the guys are still at development level, we want to specifically play this guy to play with the younger guys, so that they can, to get the logo. So you've got a senior player that they put in the years down, so they'll be able to play in the junior team, so that the junior team will be able to compete very well. So that player now ends up with that age going up. But let's not look at. I mean, if you look at the African countries, how they prepare for these competitions, these guys have got physique. So let's not be misled about the age as well. Let's look at the physique as well to say, when you go north of Africa.
But I would say physique sometimes goes hand in hand with your age. You can't be a 21-year-old looking like a 35.
When you go to north of Africa and you look at the teams like the DRC, when you look at the teams like Cameroon, the physique is different. The physique is you might be misled about the age, but the physique is big.
I think it's something that we need to revisit as well.
Definitely.
Even in the PSL, there's been cries about the age thing and the age cheating. Some of the teams even close their development structures trying to fix this age.
Exactly, and the question remains now, how do you regulate that?
Well, congratulations to Nigeria for winning the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Doesn't matter how old are they. The fact that they win, it's a positive for them and their football. Now we're going into the seniors. That is our senior national team, Bafana. They are playing Angola twice.
We played Angola recently.
Here's the thing though. We played them in Chan, right?
Yes.
And Chan is way lower or smaller in terms of the magnitude of the tournament compared to the World Cup. But we lost in Chan.
Exactly, and now the focus is for the World Cup, and they're going to be coming out guns blazing because of the World Cup.
If you were the coach, Ubabu Shakes, was I approach these two games?
I think in this stage it's kind of hard. Like when I was gonna go back and go and joke and say, just bring the Pirates team to go and play in these competitions.
The Pirates team lost in the derby. They are not in the final.
But let's go into this one. I think the focus there needs to be much focus. I think I've looked at a level that Shakes Mashaba has been taking these games or been approaching these games. The level of research going into this competition.
And the level of consistency as well. There are a lot of players people are complaining about, the likes of Rantier, the Kunes of this world, they get picked. You can see the consistency in terms of selecting players. And
I feel like that complacency is coming into Mashaba as well, where we've got a certain vision. When he started, they gave him a certain mandate that we need to reach vision so and so. Because that time hasn't come, he's become so complacent, and then his job is just safe.
So do you think he needs to have a mandate?
I mean, Safa has said to him that you don't have to win any other. We under construction.
We've been building those since 2010.
His mandate is Vision 2022.
Looking at the crop of players that you have now, is that vision still on site?
Like the selection of players as well. I find the credibility of players that he brings to the competition. There's a lot of chops and changes. There's a lot of players that when you think you've figured out what Mashaba is doing when he's selecting the players, then you'd find a guy like Brilliant Kuzwa who performs so very well in the week. Kune is out injured in Goldie, but Brilliant Kuzwa is brought in, and then we hear issues of family matters taking place at home. Now he can't come in.
Do you blame the coach though, or is it maybe... on the player.
I will always say that 90% of the players are the ones that go in, but that 10% of motivation to go out and win competition lies on the coach. And that 10% is very crucial because it might knock out this 90%. But I mean, if you look at the lineups as well, you've got defenders, and Tapo's performing well, yes, Nonyan is performing well. You bring back Matoho as well. I don't feel he's been performing well. You bring
Because
back
of the
no. You bring back Kuzo. You bring back Kotia as well onto the squad. I don't think these guys have been performing as well. One other striker that you're bringing in, I know he's got so much motivation. I know he's considerably, possibly one of our best strikers now. But if you put Gabuza in front, one of the complaints that when Chiefs and Pirates finished, one of the complaints by Eric Tinkler was that for the previous games, opposition goalkeepers have been the ones that have been taking man of the match positions when they're playing against Pirates. So it means it's a problem with Pirates strikers going in. Do we not have any other strikers to come? Because we're seeing that it's like saying, I'm going to bring you in the squad because you've got potential. Even though you don't score, but I think you've got potential. And that's not how we're supposed to be approaching at national level. You've got potential, and that's what we need in the squad. And that's not what we want as fans. We want Bafana to go out there and win. 2018 is very crucial, especially the fact that we haven't qualified for anything else. If Bafana doesn't take on this one and they lose out, women's team is out, under 17 is out, under 20 was out. Under 23 is going to play Senegal at the end of the month to qualify for AFCON next year. Their coach is replacing Owen Dagama. He's traveling with Bafana team. I'm hoping that he's going to pick up something right now to bring back to the squad.
I guess the question you're asking is qualifier nini. Everyone has been playing qualifiers, but we don't seem to qualify and go to compete into these competitions. And the other question you're asking, is this the best strikers we have? If yes, or if no, make sure that you chat to us on Facebook at The Final Whistle. I'm Zanzi, and continue the conversation as we blow the final whistle on these topics. Until next time, Mashwidi.